Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. And this week, the headlines are potentially very exciting depending on how they turn out. Because first up, Bandai announced that on June the 4th, they will be unveiling the newest model kit information for the things that they'll be releasing in October, November, and December. And the reason that I'm classifying this as potentially very exciting is because we already got a lot of announcements at the Shizuoka Hobby Show. So there's a good chance that the bulk of the information that we'll be getting on June the 4th are just going to be more details for model kits that we already knew were coming. Things like the high-grade Zagok or the real-grade Akatsuki. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Bandai kept one or two surprises for this event. And then the second potentially big announcement is that Gundam Seed Freedom will be on Netflix and Prime Video starting June the 8th. At least in Japan, because so far this announcement has only been made through the Japanese Gundam.info. And on that announcement, they made no specific mention of which countries and regions it'll be releasing in. So far that means only Japan, and maybe later on also Southeast Asia. So if you weren't able to catch Gundam Seed Freedom in the cinemas, then you can watch Gundam Seed Freedom on the 8th if you're living in Japan, or if you're using a VPN like NordVPN, which you can of course get with the link down below. Not only will that get you a sweet discount, but you'll also be supporting the channel. On the figure front then, we also got to see something majestic. The completed version of the Gundam Guise Generation Deluxe Mobile Suit Gundam Char Aznable Meguriai. The figure is 1/8 scale, has some amazing detailing, and can be yours in late November for 36,300 yen, 231 US. And this will definitely be a centerpiece for any Char Aznable fans collection. And if you're in Japan, you can check it out for yourself at the Mega Hobby Plus event, which will be held at the Bamco Cross Store Tokyo in Ikebukuro Sunshine City. From May the 31st until June the 5th, it'll focus on Gundam, with that Char Aznable figure, and from June the 6th until the 16th, they'll have a special Code Geass 15th anniversary exhibition. Can you believe that Code Geass is already turning 15? And for another exhibition, you can go to the Metal Build Festival 2024, which will be held at the Tamashii Nation Store Tokyo in Akihabara. And it'll be held from July the 5th until September the 2nd. And alongside this announcement then, they also showed us the official product images and all of the details for the new Metal Build Festival 2024 versions of the Metal Build Strike Freedom Gundam and Metal Build Destiny Gundam full package version. And they've got what I would call a really funny way of distribution. So despite being event limited model figures, they're not going to be sold at the actual event. Instead, you'll have to get them through the Japanese Club Tamashii members program, where regular members still need to rely on luck to get them because it's like the lottery purchasing system. And then the higher up members can actually just buy it. But if you go to their pop-up store in Osaka, which will be open from June the 3rd to July the 9th, you can buy the Freedom there. I see that logic has left the room apparently. But the bottom line is, you're not getting your hands on these things for cheap, because their base retail price is already 38,500 yen, which is 245 US. Just today then, the FW Gundam Converge SB Archangel has gone up for pre-order as a premium Bandai exclusive. It'll be sailing your way in October, and for 5,390 yen, which is around 40 US, you're getting a very nicely detailed Archangel figure, a Mobius Zero, an extra part to turn it into the Freedom version, a stand, parts to open up the launch base, and parts for its main weapons, being the Lohengrins, the Godfrieds, and the Valiants. Also, when the page first went live, there was a slight mix-up with the images, as you can see right here. The last image was of the white base instead of the Archangel. Meanwhile, on the gaming front, we've got some celebrations. The global version of UC Engage is celebrating its half anniversary in style with an extremely limited unit assembly featuring the UR Haman Khan and the UR Kubele, as well as this very neat wallpaper and achievements to earn free things like guaranteed UR Mobile Suit Select Unit assembly tickets. The Japanese version then is a bit further along and is celebrating its 2.5th anniversary and therefore does also have a bit more to offer. They've also got a new gacha, the UR Unicorn Gundam Perfect Ability Destroy Mode and UR Benager links, as well as a bunch of free stuff, but they've also got the conclusion of the Amuro and Char story mode. And with that ending, they also announced that a new original story will be coming in summer. So some very cool things to look forward to for the Japanese players as well as for the global players. And the Steam version of Gundam Battle Operation 2 is celebrating its first anniversary with a bunch of step-up campaigns and free stuff. It's also slowly working its way out of the top 10 of most disliked Steam games, so good on them. Happy birthday. And then on the PlayStation version of the game, the Atlas Gundam Bianca Carlisle Custom has joined the fray. And finally, Modern Warfare's 4th season went live, meaning that Gundam is now officially in the game. In other news then, on the 13th, the Silver Phantoms work in progress will be shown at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival. The VR movie will take place in UC 0096, and on the official website, you can sign up to the newsletter to get the latest information on this project, which I will have also linked down below. As for the things you could get this week then, first up on the 25th, we got the latest Gundam Universe lineup. For 3,300 yen a pop, 21 US, there was the Deathscythe Hell Endless Waltz version, which comes with the beam scissors and some very chunky calves, the Banshee Norn Destroy mode, which comes with the Beam Magnum, a beam saber and some very big knees, and then the Calibarn, which comes with the variable rod rifle and thick thighs. And then from the 27th, Mobile Suit Ensemble 18.5 hit Gachapon machines across Japan. And the reason for that 0.5 is because it is simply a color variant of the standard Mobile Suit Ensemble 18. Meaning that for 500 yen a spin, 3 US, you can get a more metallic looking prototype Gundam, a silver bullet suppressor with markings, the Arcus Custom Zaku Warrior, the Live Concert Zaku Warrior, a Gigan in more down-to-earth colors, and an option set that has the Beam Javelin for the prototype Gundam, a Commander Antenna and Extra Shield for the Arca Zaku, and a Beam Tomahawk, Gunner Wizard, and Blaze Wizard for either Zaku. They're also available in 10 packs from regular stores, which I will have linked down below. For this week's reading material then, there was the July issue of Shonen Sunday Special, in which Gundam Aggressor is being serialized, the July issue of Gundam Ace, in which a lot of series are being serialized, and it has the final installment of Hai Gredo ni Koi Suru Futari. Next up, there was the July issue of Hobby Japan, featuring a lot of Macross stuff, as well as the High Grade Destroy Gundam. I'm still waiting on mine. The July issue of Model Graphics, featuring several mobile suits that may or may not be Zaku's. The June issue of Geijutsu Shincho, which has this beautiful cover done by Yoshikazu Yasuhiko, and also has an interview with him. And then there was the Gundam Forward Archive Gundam Seed Special Edition, which mainly focuses on the Gundams of the first Seed series. For this week's apparel news then, GGG kicked things off on the 24th by celebrating the 30th anniversary of G Gundam with an Undefeated of the East collection. There's a variety of really cool looking t-shirts for 4,730 yen a pop, 30 US, a cap for the same price, a Super Asia bucket hat for 5,500 yen, 35 US, a tote bag for 2,750 yen, 18 US, a glass for 1,980 yen, 13 US, and a coaster that also doubles as a keychain for 1,430 yen, 9 US. And if you visit the GGG store in July, you can also get this full color t-shirt for 9,900 yen, 63 US. Also on the 24th then, you could pick up these two Active Dry t-shirts made out of recycled material from like factory textile waste and old clothing. You can get a white t-shirt with subtle RX-782 theming or a black one with subtle black Tri-Stars theming. And either one goes for 5,500 yen, 35 US. And then on the 29th, you could pre-order some more in-your-face t-shirts featuring the Strike Freedom Type 2 or the Mighty Strike Freedom. They go for 4,730 yen a pop, 30 US, and will be available in physical GGG stores on June the 1st. And on the same day, pre-orders also went live for this very colorful Haro collection. Featuring a green, pink, or orange Haro and releasing on June 22nd, there is a coaster for 1,320 yen, a little over 8 US, and a rubber keychain for 1,210 yen, a little under 8 US. And then slated for a July release, there's a plush keychain that is only available in green for 1,320 yen, a little over 8 US. And then finally today, pre-orders went live for these Witch from Mercury acrylic keychains. They go for 1,430 yen each, 9 US, and will be available from physical GGG stores on July 13th. At Bankore, meanwhile, pre-orders went live for some more acrylic stands. The things we of course cannot get enough of. But while we did get the usual ones, being another lineup from Char's Counterattack, which you can get for 1,320 yen, 8 US for the standard ones, or 2,750 yen, 17 US for the big ones, this time we also got something different that I thought was very interesting. For 1,650 yen a pop, 10 US, you can now order a set of 4 Gunpla scaled acrylic pilot stands. The available options are Amuro in uniform, Amuro in pilot suit, Char in uniform, and Char in pilot suit. And the 4 included stands are like roughly 1/144 scale, 1/100 scale, 1/60 scale, and 1/48 scale. And these are slated for a July release. Next up on Tuesday, pre-orders went live for a variety of clear cases. They're like small plastic pouches with a keychain on it and one of the main characters from Gundam Wing or Gundam 00 printed on them. They go for 1,100 yen a pop, 7 US, are slated for a July release, and I guess are useful for putting like small collectible things inside of them. And then finally today, we have these Kabe-kyun Gundam Seed Freedom acrylic stands, which are basically online gachapons, because for 880 yen a pop, 6 US, you're getting a random one. You cannot choose which one to get. And it can be a regular version or a shiny holographic version. Also, if you're a bit confused about what they're doing with their hands, they're doing the kabedon thing. The thing where one party pins another to the wall and then confesses their feelings. And as always, let's quickly wrap things up with the polls. A few weeks ago, Bandai wanted to know what our favorite announcement of the Shizuoka Hobby Show was. And the results were pretty decisive, with a 10% gap between each entry. The high-grade Zagok won with 39.7%, the real-grade Akatsuki came in second with 29.7%, the master-grade super deformed Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz version grabbed the bronze medal with 20.6%, and the best mecha collection RX-78-2 Gundam Revival version was the runner-up with 10.1%. So yeah, the high-grade Zagok beating the real-grade Akatsuki and master-grade super deformed Wing Zero really does show how well received both Atheron and his very unique looking and high performing mobile suit were. And, well, for good reason, really. What I am a bit saddened by, though, is that the best mecha collection RX-78-2 is all the way in the back with only 10%. But hey, it did perform better in my version of the poll, where it actually managed to beat out the Master Grade Super Deformed Wing Zero. And other than being a concept that I really like, I do wonder if this line is going to continue and like how they're going to continue it. Are they just going to stick with the 0079 machines and go down the line? Or are they going to do the main machines of all of the old school Gundam series? Like the lineup that they're doing for those big vinyl SD figures that they're releasing right now. But as I so often say, only time will tell. As for the currently ongoing poll then, to celebrate Gundam's 45th anniversary, they'll be showing 5 movies in various cinemas across Japan. These are the 3 original Gundam compilation movies, Char's Counterattack, and Hathaway's Flash. So now, Gundam.info wants to know which characters from these movies we would rather watch a movie with. Amuro, Kai, and Hayato from the original series, Bright and Hathaway from Char's Counterattack, or Kenneth and Lane from Hathaway's Flash. It's been a while, but we again have an interesting difference between the Twitter version and the main website version of the poll. On Gundam.info, the OG Gundam cast is leading by a large margin, while Bright and Hathaway are basically tied with Kenneth and Lane. But on Twitter, things are much closer, with Bright and Hathaway actually getting close to Amuro, Kai, and Hayato. So I guess Bright is really doing a lot of heavy lifting for the duo here, because while I would absolutely love to watch a movie with Char's Counterattack Bright, I cannot say the same for Char's Counterattack Hathaway Team Killer Noah. But if you want to cast your vote, I'll of course have the links down below. And that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.